Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. A very warm welcome to yet another episode of Weekend with Wisdom. And today we have a very special guest, Swamini Sadvidyananda Saraswati ji, who joins us from Gujarat. She is a student and disciple of Puja Sri Dayananda Saraswati ji and comes in the Asha Vidya Parampara. And she has extensively studied Vedanta and Hindu Shastras, and she is teaching Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and all other Vedantic texts in Gujarati language all across Gujarat, especially in towns like Navsari, Bardoli, Valsad, Bilimora, Vyara, and Bhavnagar for the last 25 years. And she has founded a trust, Asha Vidya Tirtha at Navasari. And under the banner of the trust, she has translated and published more than 37 books of Puja Swamiji, Dayanand Saraswati ji into Gujarati. And she has also translated the Puja Swamiji's Bhagavad Gita, the Gita Home Study course, which is a kind of a mammoth, voluminous book of 20,000 pages or so, and she has translated it into Gujarati for the benefit of those who prefer to learn Vedanta in their own mother language. She has also been quite active in academic circles, and she has presented papers and attended many conferences like National Education Conferences in Pune, Gwalior, Srividya International Conference, Mysuru, Namami Shankar, Vedanta Conference, etc. And she is closely also working on education policies, education curricula system, and all these fields of education. It is our pleasure, and we are very fortunate to have you today, Swamiji. Thank you for accepting our invitation and for this platform. Viewers, with this brief introduction, I would now request Swaminiji to speak. Today's topic that she has taken is very important. It is called different facets of Yajna and Bhagavad Gita. This is a very practically relevant subject to all of us today. Yajna is the notion of Yajna, the understanding of life itself as Yajna is something that is very much needed in our day-to-day life, in our sadhana life to make overall success, abhyudaya and nishreyasa, to attain them in our life. And if you have any questions, you can post it in the Q&A box. Do not post on chat box. And towards the end, Swaminiji will take perhaps one or two questions if time permits. So with this very short introduction, Swaminiji, I request you to please start your session and enlighten us with your insights.
Namaste. Om Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Om Pathaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grasitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrutavarshiniं Bhagavatim Ashtadashaധ്യായിनीं Amba Tvamanusandathami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadah Kramopanishadaihi Gayanti yam samagaha Dhyanavasthita tadgatena manasa Pashyanti yam yoginaha Yasyantanna vidussura suradanaha Devaya tasmai namaha Vasudeva sutam devam कंसचाणूरमार्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Namaste to everyone. Today our topic is different facets of yajna in Bhagavad Gita. I always tell in my talks, in my classes, that Bhagavad Gita language-wise is very simple. But by meaning, it's a very, very subtle and very deep meanings are given. And every verse we have to understand in proper context. Because I always say that Lord Rama stands straight. Kodanda Ramaha. But when you see Lord Krishna, Tribhanga Lalita Krutihi, he doesn't stand straight. Similarly, when he talks, he gives the Upadesha of Bhagavad Gita. When he talks certain words, when he uses, we cannot give the direct meaning, vachyartha, to that particular word. And therefore, during my years of teaching, I have found that certain words are used in many meanings. Sometimes when we'll have next time, we can go for the other words also, like yoga, gnanam, yajna, karma, sannyasa. All these words are used in Gita, but they have particular meaning according to what is the previous verse or what is the next verse. And that's why contextually we have to see the meaning of that particular word. And today we have taken the word called yajna. According to the Paninian grammar, yajadhatu is there, and yajadhatu, the meaning of yajadhatu is devata uddishya dravyatyagaha. Keeping particular devata in the mind when we offer something, it is called yajna. Whether you are doing abhishekam to Shivaji, or you are offering naivedya to Bhagavan, or you are offering vastram to Bhagavan, it is called yajna. Even when you are offering the ahuti into the fire, that is also yajna. So the basic meaning of yajna is that you offer this dravya to Bhagavan, to devata, to deities. And so that is the particular meaning which is the language telling. But when we go to Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has used this word in different meanings. In my understanding, there are 4 meanings are given in Bhagavad Gita for this particular word called yajna. So if you go to the 3rd chapter, Lord Krishna says, Sahayajna Prajashristva Purovacha Prajapatihi Anena Prasavishwadvam Yeshavastvishta Kamadhuka. If you have a Gita in your hand, you can see this verse also along with me. It is a 3rd chapter and the verse number is 10. So when Brahmaji created this universe, while creating this universe, creating human beings, Sahayagya Prajaha Shrushva. The human beings are created along with the Yajna. Why? And not only that, by after creating human being, Lord Brahmaji is telling, Sahayagya Prajashrushva Purovacha Prajapati. Prajapati Brahmaji said, Anena Prashavishwadhvam. May you prosper by this yajna. Why? Ishtakama dukha. It is going to be wish fulfilling a cow for you. It is going to fulfill all your wish. And therefore, yajnas are there. Now we have to understand why Lord Brahmaji is telling human being that this yajna is created for you. For through this yajna, you can prosper. That means the yajnas are meant for the prosperity of human beings. What is the prosperity we see in this world? In this contextually now when we see, what is the prosperity? We generally think that having lot of money, having lot of facilities, many kinds of the satta, sampatti, is it so? That is a prosperity? No. Understand it. It is a wish fulfilling cow for us. But what Brahmaji is telling in further verse is, Devan bhavayatanena te devan bhavayantavaha. May please the Devata, they will please you. That means this is a kartavya karma that we have to perform yajna every day. We have to offer something to the Lord. So the Devata Uddishya Dravya Tyagaha is a part and parcel of human life. Nobody can have any option regarding this, and therefore he's telling Parasparam Bhavayantaha Shreyah Paramavapsyata. The Shreya, the Kalyana. Shreya means moksha. Dharma artha kama is abhyudaya and moksha is a Shreya, Nishreya. So Lord Brahmaji is telling further that this yajna is meant for the moksha. Understand? Now, yajna is a karma. That karma is going to create a punya. If it is going to create the punya, that punya is going to give me new birth. Whether that birth is going to be conducive to me, that doesn't mean. It is not bandhanam. It is a bandhanam. Understand? And therefore, Lord Brahmaji is telling us that by this may you prosper, but that prosperity should go to the Shreya. What is the goal of human life? Advaitamrita Varshini Bhagavati. Today we have a very auspicious day. I'm very happy that on this auspicious day we have started this class. Happy Navratri to everybody. Not only that, if we are really celebrating Navratri, this is the Navratri for us. Why? Ambatva manusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavat Dveshini. This Bhagavad Gita itself is Maamba. And we are studying Bhagavad Gita, and that Bhagavad Gita is what? Bhavat Dveshini. That which is destroying our bhava, janma mrityu chakra. And therefore, though yajna is there for the punya karma, but Brahmaji is telling these yajnas are there for you to gain the moksha. And therefore, Shreya Paramavapsada, Param Shreya. That Param Shreya is a moksha. Not only that, suppose somebody says, no, I don't want to perform it. Why? I am free to do what I want to do. But there is a rule in this creation. Understand this properly. That whatever you are taking, you have to give back to them. Give and take is the rule of this creation. And therefore, if you want to have some prosperity, you want to gain moksha, what you have to do? You have to offer this to Ishtan Bhogan Deva. But suppose somebody is not offering, suppose somebody is not performing yajna, suppose somebody is thinking, I don't need to perform anything, I am here to enjoy. I always say that Western lifestyle and Bharatiya lifestyle, don't say Indian, forget about the word India. We all need to forget this one word in India. We have to say we are Bharatiya. What is Bharatiya culture? What is Bharatiya Sanskruti? We are not consumer, understand? We'll see further that also. Here we are not to be a consumer. We are a contributor. But just Swamiji used to tell us, more contributor you are, more mature you are. Your maturity, the measurement of your maturity is how much you are sharing with others, how much you can give up. And therefore, here Bhagavan is telling, if without offering what you are gaining from Devatas, look at this world. Do you think you are really free, really independent? I will give you one example which proves that you are not independent person. You are depending on so many factors in this world. If you want to have one cup of tea in the morning, to have you a cup of tea, understand how many factors are working. You want to have a tea, that means somebody is having a tea garden. He is having a tea garden and that tea garden. Morning, ladies are getting up and plucking the leaves, tea leaves. Then there is a factory where they are drying this tea leaves. The tea leaves are dried and they are given to the distributors. That distributor means what? Trucks are there, trains are there. Then they are packed with that particular name. Tata tea, Waghbakri tea, there are different types. And that he will again distribute to your town, and that will come to your town shop, and that from that shop you buy that. That means what? You want the tea, but all these factors are working. You want sugar. In India, there is no tea without sugar. That means what? Farmers are having a sugar cane. Sugar factories are making sugar. They are distributing that one. So to grow sugar cane, all the Surya, Chandra, Jala, Agni, Vayu, everybody is active. All human beings are active. Sugar factories are running. Trucks are running. Then you want milk. So many cow herds are there. They are taking care of the cows. They are milking the cows. That milk will come to your house. Then you need fire. You need water. Water means what? It will come. Yagyat bhavati parjanya. Now it's raining here everywhere. That rain is because of Lord. Understand? You want milk, tea, but there are four things are there. Water is there, tea is there, sugar is there, milk is there. How many factors are working? Not only that, you need fire. You need sieve, you need cup. Everything you need. That means in the morning when you have a cup of tea, all these factors are active. One of them is not functioning, you are not going to have a tea. Understand? You are not an independent person, and therefore Bhagavan is telling, if by all these factors, whether it's a human beings or there are animals are functioning, devatas are functioning, so they are the one who are making your life possible, and therefore Bhagavan is telling, Taihi adattana pradayabhyah bhunte. Without giving them back, if you are enjoying these things, who are you? Stena eva saha. Who are you? You are thief. Understand this. In Gujarati, in Hindi, we say we have to pay the tax. If you don't pay the tax or you hide your income, it is called kar chori. Means you are hiding your income. You are not paying tax. Same way, here also what we are doing. There, you are hiding your tax, you are not paying the tax. Same way here, you are not paying the tax. And that's what Bhagavan is telling. The person who is not offering back is a thief. Stena eva. Understand? And therefore, we need to offer this. It is a part and parcel of human being that yajna is there for our prosperity. External prosperity is also because of yajna. Internal prosperity is also because of yajna. You need to be a human being. Swamiji says, you are a human being when you are a contributor. Western lifestyle is all consumerism. How much I enjoy is important. But in Bharat, in Bharatiya culture, we are not a consumer, we are a contributor. Understand? And therefore, the first meaning of yajna is whether you are a contributor or not. How much you are contributing. Because all these factors are there. According to Shastra, there are 5 factors are there which are working to make your life possible. And therefore, those 5 factors, we have to give them back. It is called Pancha Mahayajnaha. Shankaracharya quotes here for this one that these 5 yajnas every human being has to perform. First one is called Rishi Yajna or Brahma Yajna. Shastra Adhyayanam Brahma Yajna. You study your scripture. Whether you want to study Ramayana, you want to study Bhagavata, you want to study Devi Bhagavata, you want to study Bhagavad Gita, you want to study Upanishad. Anything. You study. Have a study as a part of your daily life. Adhyayanam Brahma Yajna, Homa Devaha. You offer this devata, that ahuti also is a yajna, deva yajna. Tarpanam Pitru Yajna. All our ancestors have worked so hard. Therefore, what we are here. And therefore, we offer our, that was Tarpanam Pitru Yajna. Bali Bhautaha, Bhut Yajna. Now we are using the different types of the colors in our kolam, in Rangoli. Those days we were using the rice powder. Why? Then ant will come and eat it. I remember. Those days my grandma, when we are making chapati, one for cow, one for crow, one for dog. Understand? Lot of people tell me, no, Swaminiji, but we are living in an apartment. Where to give this cow? Okay. You cannot offer this chapati or food to the cow. That's fine. You go and offer to the where the people are having the Goshala. In Goshala, you can offer something. Wildlife. In America, when I go to America, people ask me, Swamiji, how to do Bhuti Yajna? Donate for the wildlife. Understand? They are also playing very important role for you. Whether it is a small ant or a whale or an elephant. They are all playing their roles, and therefore the creation is possible, and therefore Bhuti Yajna also is important for us. And then lastly, Nru Yajna, Atithi Sevanam. Nowadays there is no Atithi. Look at this word Atithi. Tithi means day. The one which comes without an appointment is called Atithi. Nowadays you can't do that. But you can help other human beings. Look at this pandemic time. You help other human beings because they are also helping in your life. They are also working. And therefore, Sahayajna Pradakshrishtva, Brahmaji is telling these 5 yajnas, Brahma Yajna or Rishi Yajna, Deva Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Bhut Yajna, Nru Yajna. These 5 yajnas are a part of our daily life. Daily we have to study, daily we have to offer to devatas, daily we do puja. Daily we do namaskar to our parents. Don't think that only Pitru Yajna means you give the tarpanam to all those who have gone. Pitru Yajna means your parents are alive, then take care of your parents. Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. Do the seva of your parents, do the seva of your acharyas. Understand? Tarpanam is not the only Pitru Yajna, understand? When you have a live parents in front of you, you have to take care of them. That is also Yajna. Understand? And therefore, by these few verses, Brahmaji is telling us that this is the part. Yajna means your daily life have these 5 types of the activities where you help other human beings, you help the animals. We need to help animals, and therefore Bhagavan very clearly said, suppose you don't offer, then what will happen? If you offer them, muchante sarvakaidishaihi, you will be liberated from all kinds of the sins. But if you don't, bunjate tu agam papaha ye pachantyatma karanat, one who is a self-centered person, atma karan, look at this word Bhagavan. Previously Bhagavan said the person who doesn't offer to devatas, who doesn't perform these 5 yajnas, he is a thief. Now Bhagavan is using other 2 words. If you are not offering them, and if you are enjoying what you are enjoying, bunjate te agam. Agam means papa. He is not enjoying, he is eating his own papa. And who is he? Papa. Look at this. Yajna means offering. Yajna means sharing. Yajna means contribution. How much you contribute is very important. And therefore, first meaning of yajna, what we get in Bhagavad Gita, is that these 5 types of yajnas we are performing every day. That is a particular meaning which is given by the word itself. Yaja pujane. So the yajna itself is our lifestyle. When the yajna becomes look at this, what we are now doing is called Gnana Yajna. Whatever I have gained knowledge from my gurus, I am offering it to you. I am sharing that knowledge with you. So the sharing knowledge also is yajna. Sharing clothes, anything, understand? And therefore, all these yajnas are required in our life. There is no option, understand? That's why Swamiji used to tell us, this is a choiceless choice. Though human beings are given a choice, karmani eva tamadhikaraha. Every human being is endowed with this particular freedom, freedom over action. What action you want to perform, you can decide. Kartum shakya, akartum shakya, anyatha vare kartum shakya. So though this kind of the freedom is given to you, still this yajna, performing yajna, is not a freedom for you, and therefore it is a choiceless choice. You gain something from others, you have to give them back. And therefore, as I said previously, it is a take and give and take. That is your life. Not only that, when he is telling Prasavishwadvam, means you prosper. Look at this prosperity word. This meaning of yajna we have to understand properly, because it is a part and parcel of your life. How are you going to prosper with this yajna? What is prosperity? I always tell everybody that greatest siddhi in this world is that whether your mind is happy or not. Prasanna cheta. In Gita, Bhagavan says this, that whether your mind is a pleased mind or not. If you don't have a pleased mind, it's a problem, understand? You have something very beautiful in front of you, but if your mind is not having the right type of the, what you call, gesture, then you are not going to enjoy that. Understand why this yajna is important, how you can prosper with this yajna is that because you need to have a right type of the mind. If you want to enjoy ice cream, if you want to enjoy the world, if you want to enjoy the friends, right type of the mindset is there. If that particular mindset is not there, you are not going to enjoy this. And therefore, to gain that right type of the mind is through this yajna, through this sharing. More you share, more you are relaxed. I always tell my students, look at this, your hand. Suppose you like rose. It's a beautiful rose somebody has given you. Beautiful color, beautiful fragrance, beautiful arrangement of the petals. Everything is beautiful. And you hold that rose in your hand. How long you are going to hold that? How long? Tell me. 1 minute, half an hour, 1 hour, whether you want or not. Understand? Whether you want or not, your hand is going to give it up. Your hand also is telling you that giving up is a joy. When you go to sleep, you give up everything. Who doesn't love sleep? But in the sleep, there is no time, there is no place, there is no relatives, there is no enjoyment. That means what? Yagat Shanti Rananta. 2nd chapter, Bhagavan said already. If you really want to enjoy, sharing and giving is the way to enjoy it. And therefore, Bhagavan says, Yaha bhunte. Without sharing, without giving up. If you are enjoying, you are really not going to enjoy that, because that is not the way. That is not the way for prosperity. Your mind has to be cheerful mind, and that cheerful mind is possible only by giving up. Look at your body, gives up everything. Look at your hand, look at your mind. You are hearing me because you are giving up. You understand what I'm telling? You are hearing me, and then whatever you are hearing, you are getting into your mind, and the new words are coming to your ears. And therefore, giving the sharing is yajna, which is the way you prosper in your life. And therefore, Bhagavan is concluding with that, if you don't share what you know, you don't share what you have, and without sharing and without giving, if you are enjoying, you are not really enjoying, you are eating the sin only, eating papa only. And therefore, the first meaning of word yajna is given in this third chapter, verse between verse 10, actually 9 to 30. Because Bhagavan already in 9th class verse said, Yajnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhan. If you are performing yajna other than the yajnas, that karma is going to bind you. The yajna karma only can take you to the moksha, bhavadvesha. And therefore, the first meaning of yajna, according to my understanding, is this 5 types of the yajna which we need to perform daily for our cheerful mind. This is one meaning. The beautiful meanings are given. Then there is a next verse is there in 3rd chapter itself. So this yajna is from the standpoint of human being. Now Bhagavan is telling that Arjun, there is another type of yajna going on, which is called Vaishvik yajna. Individual yajna is already there. But there is a total yajna is going on in this world, and we have to follow that. We have to follow that total yajna also. Vaishvik yajna is going on, which Shankaracharya gives the name Jagat Chakra. Understand? Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavaha. Yajnat bhavati parjanyah yajna karma samudbhavaha. Look at this verse. It's a beautiful verse. First two, Annad bhavanti parjanyah. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavaha. That is the pratyaksha. You know this. That by food only we grow. We live, we survive, we grow because of the food. And that food is grown because of the rain. Parjanya. That is the pratyaksha. But how we get the rain? Yajnat bhavati parjanyah. Shastra. Here comes Shastra. Pratyakshena anumityava yastu upayana vidya. That which cannot be known by your pratyaksha, by senses, or by the indirect knowledge, which is called paraksha jnana. Vedana vindanti tasma vedasya veda. We know that we are surviving, living, every living being is surviving because of the food. And food we get because of the rain. But how do we get the rain? So here comes Shastra, and Shastra tells us, Yajnat bhavati parjanyah. The yajna, because of yajna only, there is a parjanya. The rain is because of yajna, understand? But where did you get the yajna? Yajna karma samudbhavaha. Yajna is a karma, you have to perform yajna. And what is a karma? Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. Brahma Veda. Here Brahma means Veda. I already told you. In Bhagavad Gita, contextually you have to give the meaning. Here when Bhagavan is telling karma brahmodbhavam vidhi, may you know that karma is born of Brahma. Here Brahma means what? Veda. Veda is the one which gives us the instructions for the karma. This is also very interesting topic here. What is karma? Generally, we say chalanatmakam karma. Where there is a movement, it is a karma. But if you say that, there is a problem. Why? If you say movement is the karma, then the leaves of the trees are moving. Is it karma? Understand? Water is flowing. The movement is there in the water. Is it karma? No. That movement of the water is not karma. So, chalanatmakam karma is there. But something else is missing. So we say what? Sankalpa purvakam chalanatmakam karma. Sankalpa purvakam. Particular sankalpa is made and then the action is performed. Is it so? Shankaracharya tells this. In Brahma Sutra, Shankaracharya gives very nice example. Suppose a person, look at this beauty of the Sanskrit also. Dandapanihi, Haritatruna, Panihi. A person is there having a green grass in his hand. Haritatruna Pani. His name was Haritatruna Pani. Looking at the person having the green grass in his hand, cow goes towards that person. Understand? But as cow is approaching, if that person gives up the green grass and takes a stick in his hand, now he is what? Dandapanihi. Danda is a stick in his hand. As soon as cow sees the stick in his hand, cow moves away. You see that? Pravrittihi haritatrunaha pravrittihi. Dandaha nivrutti. Why? Cow, there is a pravritti because cow sees something very conducive for her. That is Haritatruna, green grass. The same cow moves away. Nivrutti. Why? Dandaha, which is not conducive for her. That means there is a sankalpa in the mind of the cows. This is anukulaha, this is pratikulaha. When there is anukulaha, pravrittihi. When there is something which is pratikulaha, nivruttihi. So cow is doing all the activities based on her this sankalpa. She decides whether this is anukula, this is conducive, or this is non-conducive. But when cow is going toward the green grass and eating green grass, is it karma? No. Understand this problem. It is not karma. If it is a karma, understand this properly. If it is a karma, then it has to produce papa and punya. The lion kills deer. Is lion incurring sins? No. If lion is protecting cubs, gaining punya? No. And therefore, Chalanatmakam also is required. Sankalpa Purvakam word also is required. Something else is missing for the definition of karma. It is called Adrushta Janakam Karma. Understand it? The action which produces Adrushta. That which cannot be seen by us, but it is being produced called Papa and Punya. That is called karma. And therefore, karma is not your action. You perform something doesn't make it a karma. Therefore, when I say action, look at in English, there is no proper word translation for karma. Kriya also is translated as action, and karma also is translated as an action. But karma is a technical word. Adrishta janakam karma. Action is not karma, understand. You have to use word karma. And that karma is born of Brahma, born of Veda. Understand? Therefore, what you are performing is not action, is not karma. Listen to me properly. What you are performing becomes karma when it is producing papa and punya. And when papa and punyas are produced, karmani eva tava adhikaraha. You are endowed with the freedom over action, and therefore there is a possibility of creating new papa and punya, and therefore for human being, Shankaracharya uses the word karma adhikari. Manushya is the only yoni which is karma adhikari. The action performed by human being is called karma, because it is going to produce either papa or punya. Ishtam anishtam, mishram. It can be ishtam, it can be desirable, it can be non-desirable result also. It can be mixed also. And therefore, karma is born of Veda. Therefore, there is no papa and punya in your action. In Hindi, it is very nicely said. पापा एंड पुण्य कर्म में नहीं है, वेद के विधान में है. पाप and punya are not in action, it is in the vidhan and instructions of Veda, and therefore karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. Papa and punya are in the instructions of Veda. Understand? Veda vidhan. If Veda says this produce papa, it isn't papa. You cannot decide that your action is papa or punya or not. Veda decides whether your action is papa or your action is punya. Look at this confusion was there for Arjuna also. Why Bhagavan is telling here? Because Arjuna also had a confusion in his mind. He thought that this yuddha karma is a papa. And Bhagavan said, no, dharma yuddha. Arjuna, ye dharma yuddha. This dharma yuddha is there for you. And it is very rare. Look at Arjuna thought this yuddha is a papa. And Bhagavan told, no, this yuddha is not papa because it's a dharma yuddha. You understand what I'm telling? And therefore, karma is not born of you. Karma is not born of your sankalpa. Karma is born of Brahma, means of Veda. And therefore, Bhagavan says, karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. Karma is born of Veda. And from where do we get the Veda? Brahma akshara samudbhavam. This Brahma, this Veda is born of Akshara Purushottama, Paramatma. Now, we have to understand this, that nobody can create knowledge. Though Bhagavan is using Veda is born, Samudbhava. But it is not really born, it is revealed. Veda Gnanam is not born, it is revealed. This also is a very important topic, that knowledge is not born. Knowledge is. According to Vedanta, this Ishvara, the definition of Ishvara is what? Who is Ishvara? Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayantam avisham vishanti tam tad brahma. Look at it. Ishvara is the Lord, is not the creator. Listen to my, I'm again and again telling listen to, I'm sorry for it. The Lord is not the creator. One who has created this world is called Lord. From whom everything is being created, by whom everything is being sustained, and to whom everything goes back to is Brahman, is Ishvara, the Lord. It's the definition. And the most confusing thing is this only. Everything is wrongly understood. The Lord is the creator of this world. No. The one who creates this world is called Ishvara. One who creates this world is Ishvara. Understand? This is exactly like we all have learned this in our schools. The sun is rising in eastern sky. Look at this sentence. The sun is rising in eastern sky. Is it so? Sun is not rising in eastern sky, understand? The direction in which sun is rising is called eastern sky. That's why Mirabai said, Ulata bhaye more nainan. Nainan means vision. Everything what we have understood is wrongly understood. Reverse. Sun is not rising in eastern sky. The sky where sun, the direction in which sun is rising is called east. Same way, Lord is not the creator. One who creates this universe is called Lord. Now, if the Lord is the creator, when we say the creator, the Lord, the creator has to have a knowledge and power to create. When I say knowledge and power to create, so before even this creation, there was a knowledge. And therefore, creation is being created, not the knowledge. Knowledge is. And therefore, when we say that the Veda has come from the Lord, it is not born, it is a revealed knowledge. Knowledge is not born. And therefore, Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhavah yajnad bhavati parjanyah yajna karma samudbhavah karma brahmodbhavam vidhi brahmakshara samudbhavam tasmat sarvagatam brahma nitya yajna pratishtitam. Look at this word, nityam yajna pratishtitam. And therefore, the Lord is always established in yajna. Yajna pratishtitam. Now Bhagavan is telling Arjun, this evam pravarti tan chakra. This is a jagat chakra. This is a total. This is how the whole creation is functioning. All beings are because of food, food is because of rain, rain is because of yajna, yajna is because of karma, karma is because of Veda, and Veda is because of that knowledge of the Lord. And therefore, everything is being established. Sarvam gata, sarvagatam brahma. And therefore, we have to live our life in the awareness of this totality, called Jagat Chakra. Evam pravartitan chakra. This total yajna is going on. Whether you perform or not, it doesn't make any difference to it. It is going on. Before you were born, this Jagat Chakra was going on. Now also this Jagat Chakra is going on. After you are gone, this Jagat Chakra is on. Evam pravartitam chakra. It is on. Pravartitam means it's on. Before also Jagat Chakra was going on. Now also it's going on. Afterward also it's going on. Where is the problem, Bhagavan? Nanu vartayanti iha. The one who doesn't follow this total Jagat Chakra. Understand? Look at this. Whether we are going with this total world or we are going against this total world. Beautiful verse. I love this. Why? If we don't follow this total Jagat Chakra, what happens? Agayuhu indriya ramaha mogam partha sajivati. One who doesn't follow this chakra, Bhagavan tells three things about his life. Agayuhu, we saw three. Aga means Ayuhu means his life. Bhagavan says his whole life is papa only. You understand now? How much you contribute is you. How much you gain is not you. Agayu. Why? Indriya Ramaha, natu Atma Ramaha. He is enjoying his senses. He is pleasing his senses. Not only that, Arjun, his whole life is in vain. Mogam partha sati. Understand? And therefore, this yajna pratishtha, in yajna, this total yajna is going on, everything is in the harmony. Pujya Swamiji says, the Pujya Swamiji used the word order. Everything is in order. There is a physical order is there. Bhautika chakra is there, water, air. If we don't follow that Bhautika chakra, we are creating pollution. Pollution is a papa, understand? We are disturbing this chakra. This Bhautika, physical order is there. This is physiological order. In this your body, there is a physiological order. Physiological order is called pranamaya. You are breathing, pranaha. You are digesting, samanaha. Heart is pumping, vyanaha. Kidney, skin is removing the impurities from body, apanaha. This is called physiology. Prana, apana, vyana, samanaha. All these are functioning in order. Physiological order is there. Psychological order is there. Epistemological order, understand. How you understand my word, how you understand the language, how you understand the scripture, epistemology. Look at it. And then there is an order of dharma. You are given a freedom over action, but that doesn't mean yet you can go against this chakra. Understand that? Though freedom is given to you, whatever you want to do, you can do. At the same time, if you are going against this Vaishvika Yajna, it is not going to hurt Vaishvika Yajna, it's going to hurt you. Pujya Swamiji used to give us the example. Find out some old 40, 50, 100 years old neem tree. The huge trunk is there, but the bark is very rough. Now, you are free to perform action. Swamiji says, okay, I will tell you what action you perform. With bare back, without shirt and t-shirt, you perform an action of rubbing the tree. You rub the tree. Tree is not performing an action. You are the one who is performing the action. You are rubbing the tree. In process of rubbing the tree, you get rubbed. 10 days you can't sleep on your back. Understand? Nothing happens to you. Similarly, as I said, evam pravartitam chakra. The Jagat Chakra is on. Whether you want to follow or not in your hand. If you don't follow, nothing is going to happen to this Jagat Chakra. In process, you are the loser. And therefore, Bhagavan says, evam pravartitam chakram na anuvartayanti iha. Iha means iham manushya loke, manushya janmani. In this human life, if you are not following this Jagat Chakra, you are the loser. And therefore, sarvam yajna. You follow this. Don't create any kind of the disturbance in this. Look at this, our lockdown. Lockdown has shown us this. When there was a total lockdown, Ganges was clean and neat. From Jalandhar, everybody was, by naked eyes, everybody was seeing the Himalayas. Three weeks, human beings were stopped, and the nature has taken. That's nature. Nature is not the loser. The world is not the loser. The Lord is not the loser, understand? Everything is in this Jagat Chakra, this Yajna. Vaishvik Yajna is going on. Bhagavan is telling, you better follow it. Anuvarta. If you don't follow, your life is papa. What is papa? Papa means something which is not desirable to you. Something which you don't like. Something which you don't wish. And therefore, this yajna is going on. Bhagavan is telling, this Vaishvik yajna is going on, Arjuna, and everybody has to follow. There is no option. If you don't follow, your life is miserable. Right? Agayuhu indriya rama mogham parthas. He is given the life of human being. He is not following. And therefore, whole life is in vain. And therefore, Bhagavan is telling that Arjun, this total yajna. Now understand. That means if you are wasting water, that is a papa. You are creating pollution, papa. You understand that? Not only telling lie is a papa. Not only stealing is papa. Not only creating harms in somebody, harming somebody, not papa. That is also papa. But this is a papa. Pollution is a papa. Wasting water is papa. Polluting air is papa. Look at it. Every stage, whether it is a water or it is air or it is earth. And therefore, Bhagavan is telling you. This beautiful meaning of yajna is there called Jagat Chakra. And if you follow, there is a harmony in your life. When there is a harmony between you and the world, when there is a harmony between you and other human beings, your mind is calm, composed, and cheerful. Any kind of the friction creates the heat, understand? And therefore, you live your life with minimum conflict. But Swamiji used to tell us, if this entire world is the Lord, because from the Lord this world has come into being, the Lord being the Upadana Karana, Dravya of this world, when you live your life according to this world, in harmony with this world, there is no conflict in your mind. There is a clarity in your mind, there is a peace in your mind, cheerfulness is there in you. Therefore, if you want to have a cheerful mind, Swamiji's book is there. What you love is a pleased self. Ultimately, at the end of the day, what we want to see is that whether I am happy or not, I am at peace or not, my mind is cheerful or not. Then you have to see that entire world is functioning in particular order, in particular harmony. In Hindi or in Sanskrit called Samvadita. Harmony means Samvadita. Vyavastha. More you follow this harmony, whether it is from the standpoint of your body or from the standpoint of air, from the standpoint of planets. When you are in harmony with the world, you don't have to beg for peace. You are peace. And therefore, this another meaning of yajna is, this Vaishvik yajna is there, and every human being has to follow. There is no option, and this is also choiceless choice. As these 5 yajnas are choiceless choice, this Vishvaishvik yajna, what we call Jagat Chakra, is also what? You don't have to. There is no choice. It is a choiceless choice. You have to follow. Now, there is a third meaning of word yajna. First meaning is yajna, second meaning of Vaishvik yajna, there is a third meaning. That is with reference to you personally. What is your lifestyle? Personally, what is your lifestyle also is yajna. In 4th chapter, Bhagavan talks about these different types of the yajnas. And in that, the Lord is telling that human being, when living the life, there are certain lifestyle is to be followed. So, if you have a Gita in your hand, you can take the 4th chapter, verse number 25. From verse number 25 to 33, Bhagavan has described different types of yajna. There also Bhagavan is using the word yajna only. In that yajna word we have to see. So there are different types of yajnas are given by Bhagavan. So first one, Daivameva pare yajnam yoginah paryupasate. The karma yogi is performing this yajna. What is that yajna? Daivameva apare. Daivam. The person is pleasing the devata, Daiva yajna, Brahmagnav apare. Yagyam yagyena eva juhvati. The beautiful verses are there. Few verses we'll see now. Next, tomorrow we'll see more words. I don't know how many minutes we have. Okay, we have more. Good. Enough. So first one is a Daivam Apare Yagyam Yoginaha Paryupasate. These yogis are performing this yajna for devatas. Then another people, other people are there. Those who are Brahmagna, Brahma the Agni, that is a knowledge, that Brahma yajna, they are offering this into the Agni, the fire of Brahma. That is a knowledge. Yagyam yagyena eva upajihvati. Person is performing yajna and offering into yajna, into the self. Yajna is self. So that means the knowledge also is a yajna. When you offer to Devata, that is also yajna. And when you offer your ignorance, your ahankara into the fire of Brahman, that is also yajna, because you are offering something, you are giving up something. But in your lifestyle, Bhagavan is telling that yajna means you offer something. Now what we are offering and unto what we are offering, Bhagavan is giving the list of. So your day-to-day life itself is yajna. Understand? Your living itself is yajna if you develop this particular type of the vision. Bhagavan is giving this vision to us that makes our daily activity also yajna. It's beautiful. I like this. You keep performing what you are performing. You keep doing what you are doing. But you just change your vision, you change your understanding, and your action becomes the yajna. Shotradi Vishayan, Shabdadi. Look at it. The five senses are given to us to know, to perceive these five objects. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Five Vishayas are there, five objects of knowledge are there, and then to perceive those five objects of knowledge, five senses, Gnanendriyas are given. To perceive the sound, the ears are given. To perceive the touch, the sense of touch, the skin, tvacha is. To perceive the color and the shape, Nama Rupa, to the Rupa. The Rupa is eyes are given. To perceive the touch, the sense of taste. Look at this tongue. There are three senses are there in this one tongue. We have five organs of action and we have five sense organs. These 10 organs are given to us, five to perceive, to know, and five to act. Out of these 10, 3 are in your tongue. The taste is by tongue, the touch is by tongue, and the speech is by tongue. And therefore, in Shastra it is said, if you develop the say over your tongue, out of 10, 3 are won by you. You have a mastery over 3 senses. And then 5th one is what? Smell by the nose. Granendriya, Rasanendriya, Chakshurendriya, Tvagindriya, Shrotrendriya. So these 5 indriyas are there. You are perceiving through these 5 indriyas. Now when you are perceiving this, Bhagavan is telling, Shabdadin Vishayananye Indriya Agnishu Juhvati. Second line. Second line of the verse. When you are perceiving these objects of knowledge, you say, I am offering Shabda into the fire of Shrotrendriya. When you are hearing me, you develop that particular understanding, you develop that particular way of looking at it, that you are offering the Shabda, ahuti of the Shabda, into the fire of the Shrotrendriya. Indriya Agnishu Jukvati. When you are seeing, you have developed the understanding that I am offering this Rupa to the Chakshuri. When you are eating, you say, I am offering this taste to the Rasani. When you are smelling beautiful rose, you say, I am offering this fragrance to my nose, my ghrani. When you are touching something very smooth, you say, I am offering this sparsha to the Twagendriya. So, even perceiving these 5 objects becomes the yajna for you. If you develop that vision that in the fire of Indriya senses, I am offering these 5 objects. Wonderful, look at this. You are hearing me, that is yajna. I am talking, that is yajna. You are understanding, that is also yajna. That means what? Your activity itself is yajna. If you develop that vision, then I am offering into this fire of Indriyas. But there is another one. The objects are offered into the fire of the senses. The 5 senses are offered into Sanyama, Agnishu, Shrotradri, Shrotradri, Indriyani, Anya, Sanyama, Agnishu, Jukvati. Others are there. Those who are stopping their senses, Sanyama. They are offering this Indriya into the fire of the Sanya, fire of the master, Prabhutva. That is also means what? Look at this Navaratri started today. Lot of people are going to have vrata. They give up lot of things, not only food. Maunam will be there. Means speech is given up. Lot of things of enjoyments are given up. So the giving up the enjoyments and offering the Indriyas into the fire of the Prabhutva, mastery, also is a yajna. That means offering objects to the Indriya also is a yajna, and not offering these objects of Indriya and stopping the Indriyas from objectifying also is a yajna. So Bhagavan is telling, this yajna we are performing. Not only that, sarva karmani, indriyani, prana karmani cha apare. Last verse is talking about the Gnanendriya. Now, karmani, indriyani, sarvani, indriya karmani. So now karmendriyas are there, prana karmani. So when we are performing actions, so that actions what we are performing, that also what we do. Sanyama, Atma Sanyama, Agnishu Jukvati. whatever karmendriyas are performing all the actions, those we are refraining ourselves from those actions. Though I want to speak, I don't speak. Though I want to walk, I don't walk. Though I want to grab something, I don't. Understand? So performing action is there, but I refrain myself from performing action. That becomes yajna. Understand? One more thing we have to see is that in the previous verse also, when Bhagavan is telling, when we are offering these objects of the senses into the sense, there we have to understand it is all vihita bhoga. Vihita bhoga means that which is being given by the Shastra, that which is being nishedha, that is not nishiddha bhoga is not talked about here, understand. If you talk about nishiddha bhoga, there is a big problem. Then that fellow who is drinking will tell, oh, I'm offering this. No. We are talking about only vihita bhoga. We are talking about vihita karma here. The action, the enjoyments, those objects of enjoyments we are enjoying, there is no papa in that. There is nothing wrong. We are not going against Veda. Still, we are refraining ourselves from those enjoyments. Then only it is yajna. Nishiddha karma we don't have to perform. Nishiddha bhoga we cannot enjoy. We are talking about the vihita bhoga. We are talking about the vihita karma. If I am talking all day, no papa is there. But if I stop myself from talking, it becomes yajna. Eating 3 times a day is not a papa. But I refrain myself from that. I stop myself and tell, no, I am going to eat only once a day. Then it is a yajna. And therefore, giving up the vihita bhoga and giving up the vihita karma is called yajna. Same way, prana karmani cha apare atma sanyama yogagna jukvati gnanadipite. Gnanadipite. The knowledge, the understanding is there. The lamp of understanding is there. In that understanding, which is the fire of the mastery over all senses. That means your every vrata, maunam also is yajna. Your vratam also is yajna. Everything is yajna. Look at it. Bhagavan is converting your daily life into yajna. So that's what saying, your karma, prana karma. The actions performed by the prana means prana, apana, jnana, samana, that is also yajna. Breathing also is yajna. Digesting also is yajna. Blood circulation also is yajna. Removing the impurities from the body also is yajna. Whole physiological order is yajna. All senses also yajna. So, in this manner, if we develop this understanding, then our day-to-day activities becomes the yajna for us. But this Bhagavan is talking about here. Why? Because this is called sadhana. This yajna is a tapashcharya, sadhana. It's the discipline. You develop this discipline in your life because this discipline in the form of the yajna can make you qualified for the knowledge of the self. All this what Bhagavan is talking about, this yajna, are the means to qualify yourself for the Brahma Gnana. And therefore, as I said, Nishiddha Bhoga is not talked about, Nishiddha Karma is not talked about, because we have to give up that. But even in the Vihita Bhoga, even in the Vihita Karma, we are giving up those karmas, we are giving up those bhoga, those enjoyments, and therefore it becomes the yajna, which is a sadhana for the purification of your mind, for the stability of your mind, for the nishchaya, purushartha nishchaya of your mind, and therefore this all yajnas become the sadhana for us, discipline for us to become the qualified for the knowledge. And therefore, here the yajna what Bhagavan is talking about is a disciplined life to qualify ourselves. That means what? It is a means to become the qualified person, adhikari. How you become the adhikari for Brahma Gnana? Through this lifestyle, you become the adhikari for Brahma Gnana. You develop this vision. Enjoyment also is a yajna, and giving up the enjoyment also is yajna. Performing action also is a yajna. You restrain yourself from that also is a yajna. Everything becomes yajna for you. Not only that, then Bhagavan is talking about dravya yajna, tapo yajna, dravya yajna. Dravya means what? It can be dhana, it can be dhanam, it can be annam, it can be vastram, it can be your time. Understand? Your time also can become the yajna. Not of retired people, they come and tell, how many years? I don't know what to do now. I'm free. I said, you are not free. You can do a lot of things. You share your time. If you have a really free time, go and help the people. There are so many people are there. Go to the hospital, go to the clinic. There are poor people are there, uneducated people are there. They don't know how to buy the medicine or how to take the medicine. Go and help them. And using your time in proper manner also is a yajna. It is a dravya yajna. I always tell people, those who are very unhappy, a lot of people, they have a habit of becoming, most of the people, they have a habit of being unhappy. It becomes their life. They're always unhappy. I said, why you are unhappy? Be happy. No, they can't. And I always tell these people, go to the hospital and see what is the real pain. Go to the hospital. Go to the orthopedic hospital and see. You have a nice 2 hands, 2 legs, intact body, so much time, on-time food, so much time and on-time food. Understand? You have a house, you have relatives. Understand? All this is dravya. Relative also is a dravya. The facility is given to you. So therefore, Bhagavan is saying dravya yajnaha. Your time, your money, your enjoyments, your body you share. Use this body for others. Use your time for others. Use your speech for others. Use dhanam. Annadanam mahadanam. Shastra says the greatest charity is annadanam. The quality, the measurement of dhanam is not how many zeros are behind 1 or 2. Understand this problem. How many zeros are behind 1 is not the quality or the quantity of the dhanam. The measurement of dhanam is what? The Shastra says, the measurement of dhanam is the one who is getting that dhanam, does he get trupti? Trupti means what? Alam buddhi. Does he say enough? Trupti means what? Enough. No more. That means how much you give doesn't decide your charity. The person who is getting that person has to say enough. I'm full. And therefore, Annadana Mahadana. Why? Whether person loves laddu or rasgulla. At one point he has to say enough. Ho gaya, bas. That bas means alam. Trupti, truptoham. The experience of trupti by the receiver measures the quality of your charity. Therefore, the annam is one which gives the real trupti to that person, the satisfaction, the joy, the satisfaction. And at one point he has to say enough. And therefore, Annadana Mahadana. Tatah param vidyadanam. Even greater than that is the knowledge, sharing the knowledge. Why do you say so? So next line telling, annena kshanika truptihi. Annena. By food, the satisfaction, what you get is kshanika, only for 2 hours. After 2 hours, the fellow is again hungry. And therefore, it says, annena kshanika truptihi vidyayatu nitya truptihi. By annam, the person gets the trupti. Therefore, it is a great adhanam. But it is a temporary. Kshanika means temporary. But by vidya, what we get the knowledge. By knowledge, what we get the joy, the trupti, the satisfaction is permanent. Nitya. And therefore, Bhagavan is telling Dravya Yajna. In Dravya Yajna, all this comes. Vidyadanam, Dhanadanam, Annadanam, Vastradanam, Samayadanam. That means what? All this dhanam also becomes yajna for you, understand? Dhanam means you share with others. Yatha Shakti, Shankaracharya says, Yatha Shakti. As per your capacity. Somebody is free to offer the time, somebody is free enough to offer the money, somebody is free enough to offer the food, clothes. Therefore, Dravya Yajna, Bhagavan says, this is also Yajna. Then, next is Tapo Yajna. Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna. Tapasya. Tapati iti tapaha. That which causes you, which creates kind of the heat in your mind. Tapat. It is required. Tapo yajna. Bhagavan says, this tapasya also can become yajna. Tapasya means you give up the vihit bhoga. Vihit bhoga tyagaha tapaha. There are different types of the tapascharya are there. And Bhagavan is telling Arjun, this tapascharya also is a yajna, also is a discipline. Understand? Here, whenever the yajna word comes, we have to translate that word yajna as a discipline. Dravya yajna also is a discipline. Tapo yajna also is a discipline in your life. Yoga yajnaha tatha apare. Others people are performing this yoga yajnaha. Yoga means what? Ashtanga yoga. Not nowadays what's going on, understand. Nowadays what these people are telling yoga is all health oriented. Ashtanga yoga has nothing to do with this health. Yama, niyama. First one is not asana, not pranayama. First one is yama, niyama. Yama. How you are interacting in this world. Satya, ahimsa, brahmacharya, aparigraha, steya. How you are disciplining yourself, how you are interacting in this world is called yama. How you are having discipline in your life, that discipline is called niyam. Shaucham tapaha. Yam, niyam. Asana, pranayamaha. Asana means you make your body healthy. Pranayam means you make your prana healthy. So that by yama, interaction in this world, niyama, your personal life, asana, your body, pranayam means your physiology, if all these are in harmony, then pratyahara. Pratyahara means, ahara means ahriyante iti aharaha, that which is being perceived, enjoyed. Therefore, generally in every language, ahara means food, we say. But here, ahara is not food. Understand? Ahara means what you perceive through your senses, and pratyahara means you restrain yourself from enjoying this object called pratyahara. You bring your indriya back to yourself, it is called pratyahara. Dharana. This is yoga yajna, understand? Desha nibandhascha dharana. You develop the concentration of your mind at one point, at one object of meditation. Ek desha, ek vastu, ek kal. Same time, same place, you sit and you meditate upon the same object for certain time. Called dharana. Tatra ekatanata dhyanam. Now your mind is totally engrossed, absorbed in that object of meditation, then it is called dhyana. Tatra ekatana. All your vritti, all your thoughts are going towards that object of meditation. It is called dhyana. Pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam samadhi. You established yourself into the nature of the sphere, that is you, Chaitanya, consciousness. So, Bhagavan is telling this yoga also can be yajna for you. Dravya-yajnaha, tapo-yajnaha, yoga-yajnaha, tatha pare. Certain people's lifestyle is a Dravya Yajna, certain people's lifestyle is Tapo Yajna, certain people's lifestyle is Yoga Yajna. Understand? It is your lifestyle, it is your life. But you develop that understanding that this is Yajna for me. This discipline becomes the Yajna for you. And therefore, Bhagavan is telling this kind of the Yajnas are performed by different people. And some more yajnas are given here, which we will see tomorrow. Now, I am, if anybody has any questions, they can ask the question.
Yes, Swaminiji,
Yeah.
we have a few questions.
Okay.
First of all, thank you very much. And it was a very enlightening session. And I am sure all the audience, just like I have enjoyed every second of it, our audience also enjoyed it. They have a lot of food for thought, food for mananam that they would be doing throughout the weekend now. So we have, I think, 2 questions. And viewers, if you have any more questions, please do ask. This is the time to ask the questions. First question is, please explain about Panchakosham.
Panchakosha.
Yeah.
Panchakosha is a 5 universal mistake by every human being. Understand this? Kosha is not a sheet. Forget about. Don't use the word sheet for kosha. Understand it. There is a 5 universal mistakes at 5 level is called Panchakosha. The 5 levels are Annamaya Kosha. Why Annamaya Kosha? Because every jiva, every person has identified with this Sthula Sharira, and so there is a mistake at the level of Annamaya Kosha that I am body. Then there is a second mistake by everyone, it's called Pranamaya Kosha, the thirst, the hunger. All these are the quality of the prana, but we take I am hungry, I am thirsty, I am disturbed. So all this at the level of pranamaya kosha also we are making mistake and we are taking ourselves as a prana. Same way manomaya kosha, all our emotions are there, which are the object of your knowledge, still we take them as myself. I am Shantaha, I am Vikshiptaha, I am very kind. So you have superimposed the quality of the mind on yourself. That is also mistake. So at the level of the mind also there is a mistake. At the level of the buddhi also there is a mistake. And that mistake is that I am doctor. The doctor is a quality of the buddhi, understand? But then that knowledge is taken and superimposed on the oneself, and that's called Vijnanamaya Kosha. And I am ignorant. When first I started studying Vedanta, the real joy when I got study started is amazing thing was that I am not only the knower of the knowledge, I am the knower of the ignorant also. Look at this. You are that consciousness which illumines the knowledge, which illumines the ignorance also. But that ignorance is being superimposed on myself and say, I am Agnani, ignorant. So therefore, Panchakosha means every human being is making mistakes at this 5 level called Kosha. Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha. So universal mistakes are called Kosha. Any more?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Swaminiji. We have one more question. Please do clarify Deva Yajna, whether one has to go to a temple and offer money to do some puja, or how do we go about this? To this question, I want to add my own one question about Pitru Yajna. I mean, in today's life, I think we have almost completely forgotten about this notion of the Prithri Rana, Devata Runa that we have, or the notion of Pancha Mahayagya. It's I myself discovered about this only when I started to study Dharma Shastra and Vedanta a few around a decade back. But otherwise, I was completely, we have even those who have seen this Shraddha and everything being done at their homes. Even they don't realize that there is something called as Pancha Mahayagya that we have to do on a daily basis that includes Pitri Yagya. So, Deva Yajna, Pitru Yajna, especially these two, and Rishi Yajna, how do we do it in a modern day scenario, in a more meaningful way, in a simpler way? Perhaps because we have lost touch with our lifestyle has become so changed, especially urban lifestyle. I don't think people are able to do what they used to do some 200 years back in a traditional society.
What I suggest is that, as I said, that Pitru Yajna means Tarpanam we have to do, but that Tarpanam doesn't mean that what Vedic Yajna we do. We offer on the name of our parents, some Danam, charity we do. And as I said, if the parents are alive, then better you do the seva of your parents. Don't neglect your parents, don't insult your parents, because they are there, because of them only you are here. And therefore, Pitru Yajna doesn't mean that those who are gone, even those who are alive, honestly speaking, I'm not praising myself, but I am living with my 90 years old mother. Now she is in front of me only. Understand? And I'm living with her. And for her, I'm cooking myself. Though I am sannyasi, sannyasi who doesn't need to touch the fire, but I'm cooking for my mom because all these days she cooked for me. Now when she's old, she's 90 years old, I need to do that for her. I am Vedanti and I am a Vedanta teacher doesn't mean I can't do that. We have to do that. That's a part of our life. That's why I'll tell you, everybody from last 7 years, I'm telling everybody that I'm doing the practical of Matru Devo Bhava. Because that is our life. They have given us life. They have taken care of us when we were small. They have taken care of our educations. Whether they have given you money or not, that is the least thing. Understand? But Pitru-deva Yajna means we have to do all these things. And also, on name of our ancestors, we have to offer something because of their Ashirvadam only we are here. And therefore, though you don't do the Tarpanam, the Vedic Yajna, but still you do the pranam, you do prayer for them every day, and you do some kind of the charity on their name. That is called Pitru Yajna. That is also part of Pitru Yajna. And also Deva Yajna, daily nothing if you can do, Panchopachar Puja you can do, Dhupa, Deepa, Naivedya, Pushpam. Like that simple puja at home you can do, that is also Deva Yajna. Even Japam you are doing, that is also Deva Yajna. And if the person is retired, I always tell retired people should see India, every street there is a temple. So better you go to the temple, going temple also is a Deva Yajna. Understand? And also doing puja also is a Deva Yajna. So that you can do, anybody can do. We don't need to do the elaborate puja.
Swamiji,
Sridhar?
I think I lost you.
Yes. Something else went wrong. Now I can hear you. I can hear you, Sridhar.
Yeah. You were saying, please continue.
Yeah. Maybe the video is not working, audio is working.
Yes, I think there is some issue with the internet, I believe. Yeah. So I'm not sure what is the issue. Yeah, now it is working. Yeah. The video is back. Yeah. So I have one last question for today's session. Swamiji, your video is not available.
I'm making it.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see now?
No.
Hear me?
I can hear you, but I cannot see you.
I put the video on, and I think I need to.
No, I think you have to switch it on. You switched it off there.
No, it is on. It says stop video or stop. There is nothing.
Can you try switching it on again? Swamini ji, can you hear me? Viewers, I think there is some internet issue, technical issue at Swamini ji's end. So, if you have any more questions, Swamini ji will take it up in tomorrow's session, same time, 4 to 6 p.m. India time. And please join us tomorrow. And Swamini ji will continue on her elucidation and enunciation of different facets of Yajna in Bhagavad Gita. With this, we come to an end to today's session. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.